Do you want to know what the secret easy patterns are in these books?
Well, today we're going to give you the inside scoop. Keep watching.
Hi, it's Fran Morgan.
And Hannah with Fabric Cafe.
You asked us what the easiest pattern in each book are.
And we did a video recently on it, but we have too many books to fit it all in one episode.
So we're back today to show you some more easy patterns and what book they're in that should be your next go-to pattern. So let's check out the first one. Now, this is Big Picture, and it is from our Quilts for Kids book. And so this is our easy pattern from this book. As you can see, we have a great big block here, which is super, super simple. We're just taking that yard and putting it in the middle. Simple strip piecing for the border, and it's going to go together in no time. So let's put it on the table. We have some darling fabric for you. So we have Big Picture on the table, and this truly is our easiest pattern out of the kids book. And this is why we have a big block right in the center. So basically all you're doing is trimming down your yard of fabric, cutting those selvages off, putting it in, which is great.
What's easier than that?
Yeah, what's easier than a square, right?
Yeah.
So, and then what we have is just a very simple strip piece to do this inset border here. And would you hand me the book and I will just show everyone that. And it's just so, so simple. What we have is our fabric 3 and our fabric 2. We're just sewing them together on those long edges, and we're cutting them and putting all of those units together, and that creates this border, which is just fantastic. So it's so easy. All right, we're going to be looking at fabric for this, and this is darling.
So cute. I love it.
This is so cute. So our focus fabric here is our kitties, and one of the things that actually Hannah just mentioned to me, which I thought was a really good thing to keep in mind, is when you're doing this pattern, you want to make sure that your center fabric here that you choose, your #1 fabric, has a really interesting print. It probably should be a little larger than normal, something that you really love looking at, of course, which is always our focus. But this one fits that bill. So we've got these darling kitties here, and they're doing all the different things that kitties do, and all of their fun little balls of yarn, and you know, they're always on boxes, which is great.
Or in boxes.
That's right, they are. We love our kitties. So this is our focus fabric. It's going to go in this large part right here. Now keep watching because we're going to have an image for you too. And then our #2 fabric, how cute is this? It's this nice kind of off-white with these little hearts, and it has little beige hearts, but it also has little pink hearts, which is just darling.
That little pop of pink.
It's so cute. It picks up the pink in there. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so that is going to go everywhere the green is on this quilt. And then our #3, and oh my goodness, is this not precious?
It matches these little micey here.
It's the little mice and their red and white tails. It's just so cute. I love it. This is going to go everywhere the blue is and in our little blocks here in our strip piecing. So it's really going to frame our kitties perfectly. And I love how there's that continuity in these fabrics too. And it's going to go so fast in this pattern. You're going to have it all put together before you know it. So let's check out that image. And didn't this just turn out absolutely precious?
It's so great. I love, there are so many different motifs within the cat fabric. So you get to see so many different things, which makes it really a good fabric for this pattern.
And you know, it's kind of interesting because this particular print almost looks like you pieced the center section.
That's so true.
And you didn't.
It makes it look like you did a whole lot more than you did.
A lot more work than you did. So this is absolutely precious. Just love the way it turned out. So let's get that kit information for them. It is called Kitty Purrfection. And the number is 8023295. Once again, the pattern is a Big Picture, and it's from our Quilts for Kids book.
Our next pattern is Simply Strips. This is from our Quilt Favorites book, and this really does go together extremely quickly. All you do is you make a strip assembly, and then you turn them. So you put them together in one row, go in one direction, then you flip them, and you turn them the other way for the next row. So it gives this really cool kind of alternating look, and using these different sizes for your strip assembly really gives a lot of texture and movement to this pattern, and it goes together like that. So let's look at the new fabric we have for you. All right, so the quilt model we have is made in these kind of like moody, soft fall, gorgeous. Well, we're gonna go exactly opposite, and we are gonna get bright, bold, big.
Bold, and I love it. It's
Yes.
gorgeous.
So I love this fabric, and it's mildly a stripe, like
Yeah.
kind of, it all goes one direction. It's not your traditional stripe. It's a little more on the artistic side, but it will look so good in this because, you know, maybe a little known fact, I'm not sure. Stripes look really good in Simply Strips.
Yes, they really do. We've done it a few times and it looks great. And this one, we have an image. It's fabulous. We're going to show you. And you know, this pattern, just playing off of the stripe thing, I just thought about this. This is a great pattern if you have textural prints or really small prints.
Yes.
So you have like a collection of small prints and you want to do something. This is a great pattern for that. And this is perfect.
So the fabric we have for you is rainbow, this beautiful stripe, kind of like a paintbrush stroke almost. And that's going to go everywhere you see this little leaf.
Perfect.
Then we have our light blue texture, which is kind of like a different kind of brush stroke, like they were going different directions.
They got really ambitious with their painting.
Yes. And Fran mentioned a moment ago, we were looking at this fabric, that there are lots of different shades of blue in it too, which I think is such a good point. It has all of this depth to the fabric.
It really does. It's very cool.
So that'll go everywhere you see this cream swirl right here. And you can see it picks up, you can see it better on this side, you can see it picks up that light blue in the fabric. Then for our number 3, we have this soft floral outline on this beautiful dark blue. You can see how that looks with that. That is going to go everywhere you see the orange right there.
Wow,
So it
what a
gives this
pop.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It just looks stunning. And, you know, let's show you the image and you can see just how stunning it looks.
It is really pretty, and I love the way the colors all play off of each other. Even though it's just a simple block, little pieces, it really is dynamic.
And I like the way that dark blue frames it too. It just highlights that focus fabric even more.
Agreed.
And the kit information is 8023-294. The name of the kit is Color Delight. The pattern is Simply Strips, and that's available as an individual or in the book Quilt Favorites.
So this is our favorite things pattern from our Make It Christmas book. And you know, there are so many great things about this pattern. I could go on for quite a while, but I'm just going to point out a few. First, we have one block here. We've made it multiple times, which you know how easy that is. It helps you just get in the groove. We can use a directional fabric on this. We can use a bigger, bolder print, and we can use a double focus. So there's just so many great things, and you can make this in a flash. So let's put it on the table and check out this fabric. So this pattern is really become a go-to of mine for sure, because it has so many great elements to it, so much flexibility that you can do all these different things. Of course, first, the easiest thing is we have a nice big block here that is repeated over and over again. So you know how we like those one block quilts.
Yes.
So simple.
Makes it
Now,
so easy to get in the groove.
oh my goodness, so easy. The other thing is there's actually no half square triangles on this. It's very easy. All we've done is just taken a square fabric, placed it on the corner, sewn diagonally, and then cut the excess off. And we've done that on 2 sides. Goes together so fast. The other thing I like about this, as this quilt perfectly portrays, is the fact that we've used a double focus. Now this is a great fabric because it's bright and bold, has lots of contrast within the fabric itself, which is great. And it's kind of got that, it has that little bit of a chinois cerise feel, but it's in these really bold colors.
Yeah, very rich.
Fabric number 1 here with all of these beautiful blooms and oranges and pinks and greens and blues. We've just got everything going on. And it's in our number 1 position here. And then our number 2 is this great, it's not quite a beige, but it's not quite a yellow. You know what I mean? How it kind of falls like,
It's soft in between.
it's that real, yeah, it's really soft and it's got a beautiful texture to it. And that's our number 2 here. And then our number 3 is like our second focus fabric. So here's another one. We can use that double focus on this pattern, which is great. And we have these are storks, right? And our fans and our peacocks, maybe.
Sure.
But
Are
it's
they
really
stars? Tell us in the comments because I'm not sure.
let us know. I would love to know that too. But it's really beautiful, and it has the more turquoisey background, which is great because it gives you a very distinct difference between the blocks, but yet they blend so well.
Yes.
Which is great. And then of course we have a little on our border with our focus on the border, and it just goes together so well.
So pretty.
So, you know, I have a few go-to patterns that I use over and over again, and this is one of them. Do you have a go-to pattern? What is your secret easy pattern that you're constantly going to? I would love to know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Do you have one?
Well, I actually have made this one, and it did go together real fast.
It really does, so it's perfect. This one is called Floral Paradise. The number is 8023228. It's the Favorite Things pattern from the Make It Christmas book, and the alternate pattern, if you don't take the book, is Dash.
This is our Landslide pattern, and it's from our Quilts in a Jiffy book. Now, I know what you're saying. There's half square triangles. How is that quick and easy? But look how large our half square triangles are. So you don't have to like get right into the little details of it. It goes together super fast. And because they are a larger half square triangle, you don't have to make as many of them. So you're not having to do really intricate work. If you've never made one before, this is a really good pattern to try. They'll go together really fast and easy. So let's look at our brand new fabric for you. So remember earlier when we went from like a moody fall to a bright and bold? Well, now we're gonna go opposite. We're gonna go from a bright and bold to a moody, soft, elegant fall.
It is so pretty too. This fabric has a little touch of metallic.
Yes, and you were noting that it's a copper metallic, which is something that I feel like it's been coming into the fabric world more and more lately. That touch of, we've done silver, we've done gold, now we're doing copper.
Now we're doing copper. It's so cool.
It's very pretty, and it highlights these pumpkins so well. And I love the fact the pumpkins are white, which is a little different too, so it gives them this very elegant fall look. And so that's gonna go everywhere you see this big block here. And then our secondary fabric is a plaid, and that's gonna go everywhere you see this. But I wanted to ask you, Fran, I've never worked with a plaid fabric before, and I know it can sometimes be a little intimidating. Do you have any tips, feedback?
Of course, and this is a great one and a great pattern to use for a plaid. So when you're first cutting a plaid, sometimes I'll open the fabric up, I'll take it, you know, when it comes off the bolt, it's folded. I'll open it up and I'll sometimes use my rotary cutter and cut along one of the plaid lines, like for instance along the brown part there so that I have a nice straight edge. And then I just cut it with a square like normal. Now the neat thing about this is when you put a plaid in this, these plaids are not going to touch anything else, so it's not like you're having to match plaid. You know, we've always heard that, oh, we have to match plaid, it's going to be so difficult. You don't have to do that here. It falls in such a way on this pattern so it's going to be perfect every time. You don't have to worry about it.
I love that. That's so helpful.
Very simple. And this is great too because we've got that copper line and the, ooh, it just
so
gives that
pretty.
little.
Just highlights it.
Yes.
So that's going to be your number 2. And now maybe I need to work with a plaid now. I feel a little
they're
inspired
easy.
to try
They're fun.
plaid.
Yeah.
And then our number 3, I love this fabric because it looks kind of like it's like a glittery, goldy kind of, but that's just the texture. There's not actually anything coming off of the fabric. So it gives that beautiful metallic, shimmery gold kind of feeling, and it doesn't have any actual tangible things, which I think is just so cool.
It is. It's very cool. It's great fabric.
So that's going to go everywhere you see this blue right here. And I just love it. You can see how it works with that plaid. Oh, it's just delicious.
This is great fabric. This is going to look so good. Let's show everybody.
Oh, yeah. So you can see what Fran is talking about with that plaid not having to match up. And it looks so stunning in that diagonal line.
It really does. Wow.
It almost feels like, you know, sometimes you have a ribbon around your fall decor, maybe wrapped around a pumpkin or with a bunch of sunflowers or something like that. It kind of gives that feel.
It does. That's such a cool observation. I hadn't thought about that, but I love the plaid in this in this pattern. It is just great.
So pretty. So here's your information. 8023292, Elegant Autumn, And we're using the Landslide pattern, which is from the Quilts in a Jiffy book. That is only available in the book Quilts in a Jiffy. So an alternate pattern suggestion is Lickety Split.
So this is our secret easy pattern from the On the Double book. It's called Broad Strokes. And as you can see, this is a great one because we've got nice big blocks here in our row. Have a nice place here for a beautiful focus, and then just a super simple strip piece that joins these two big blocks. It goes together super fast. Let's put it on the table. Got some lovely fabric for you. So the Broad Strokes pattern, Hannah, is amazing because it goes together so fast, as I was mentioning. So we just have this nice rectangular block here. Then this is basically 3 strips of fabric sewn together. We've turned them to put them in between these big rectangle blocks. Now, something that you pointed out that I love, there's very few seams that you have to match in this, the way that this is rotated. And that does help, because I don't know, I was sewing this weekend, I have to say, and I'm pinning all these little places, which, you know, I do that because I want it to look really good, but whenever I don't have that many intersections of seams, it just goes together like that, and it's great, and this is one of those. So this fabric we've got for you is amazing. So we have this beautiful floral here that looks a little watercolorish, but it just has all of those soft flowing movement within the fabric itself, which is great. Now this is a directional fabric, which is going to work perfect in this block here. So it's going to be super easy. You cut these blocks independently and you place them in exactly how you want, which is great. Then our number 2 fabric, isn't this pretty?
I love it. It's so pretty.
It is so pretty. So, and it's kind of like a pinky, orangey, pink kind of a color. It's really nice, and it picks up the colors in this.
Especially there's some smaller flowers in here too that almost mimic what those flowers look like.
It is. It's really, really pretty. So this is our number 2. Now, great example of a number 2 fabric that's a little bit more printed in that position, which is super cool. It is going to go right here where you see all of the off-white and gold. And this is not directional, so turning it is not going to be a problem whatsoever in this pattern. Then our number 3 is this great green that just looks, I don't know, washed, like whitewashed, or it's green, but no, it's not white, it's green. But it just has that neat feel to it. Now, it's not, can you say it's directional or not really directional? It is just a little bit directional.
Yeah, it's kind of. I would say it's directional. It's not super obvious though, but it does have a movement in one direction, like kind of like a stripe.
Yeah.
I feel like they're coming out with a lot of like a stripe. It's almost a stripe. It's not quite a stripe.
It has that movement, which is a great word that you use there. So this is our number 3, and it's going to go in these little parts here as well as on the border. Now what's great about this is going to go this way. So this movement that we're talking about will go this way in here and on the border this way. So this is a great pattern that if you had a real definite stripe, you could put it in that number 3 position and it would really add a lot of interest.
It would look really great.
So it's very cool. And this one is going to look fantastic. So
in fact, we can show them how fantastic.
Show you. So as you can see how sweet this is and how well it has gone together. And you see how that our movement in the green is there, but it's very, very subtle. So it works really well. But that also shows you how well a stripe could go. And of course, our beautiful floral in there is just perfect. And you know, I should point out too, what's really cool. So we've got our big print here, our medium print here, and our very small print there. So the scale of the fabric is just spot on in this one.
It's almost like a double focus, but not quite. It's got like a small double focus.
Good point, good point. So this one is really, really lovely. So the kit information on this, the number is 8023293. It is called Floral Moments. It is the Broad Strokes pattern from the Quilts on the Double, which is only available in Quilts on the Double. So we are suggesting Picture Perfect as your alternate.
So this is our rail fence pattern from our Quick and Easy book. And this one is so fast. All you do is you make 2 different strip assemblies, and then you cut off a piece, which is your block. And that goes together so quickly. You can see here's one in one colorway, and here's the other one just turned in the other colorway. So it gives this nice movement. So let's see what kind of fabric we've got for you. So Fran, we've talked a lot about strip assemblies this video. So I thought we could kind of elaborate on what we mean by that.
Let's do. So here's our quick and easy book.
So here's an example of a strip assembly. And all it is you cut some long with the fabric strips, or selvage to selvage, and then you sew them together on their long edges. And then you'll cut, Franz calls it cut a piece of pizza, right? Or
yeah, just slice off a piece of pizza there.
Which is great. And sometimes that piece of pizza is part of a larger whole, or sometimes it's the whole thing itself.
So it makes it super easy. And in this case, when you sew the 3 strips together, you cut off your piece, that is your block. So easy, so fast.
And you make the same type of strip assembly for both blocks. So that gets that getting in the groove that we were talking about earlier. You know exactly what you're going to do. You just have to change some of your fabrics around.
Yeah, very simple. And it creates those efficiencies so you can knock these out so fast.
Yes. So that saves you a lot of time too. You don't have to fussy cut anything. It's just, I mean, it really streamlines the whole process.
Yeah, and this is another one where there's very few seams you're matching.
Yes,
so
you're
easy.
right.
Like
I love that.
We do like that.
Yes. So let's look at our new fabric. We have a gorgeous Batik kit. And you know, I've actually never made a Batik kit. It's still on my list. I haven't done it yet.
I think she needs to. What do y'all think? Do you think Hannah needs to work with some batiks? And then she needs to show us what she does because she's really, really good.
Oh, that's very nice. I don't think I'm really, really good, but I really, really like it.
She is.
But the Batik kit we have for you today is we have these beautiful circles, which have a lot of multicolors in it, lots of little dots and things, which is a great texture. And it's on this navy blue. Which I really like.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of depth to it. It's very cool. Very cool.
That is going to go everywhere where you see this floral right here. Then we have this fun kind of textured mottled limey green, which picks up, you can see some of these greens in here. What's fun is there's so many colors in this, you can really pick out whichever one you want.
Yeah, that is true. Good point. And we picked out the lime fizz, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that it gives it brightens it up.
It really does.
So that'll go everywhere you see this yellow. And then I love this one. You said lime fizz. This sort of also makes me think of like bubbles popping. And I love the texture on this one. It's got this kind of green dot on top of the teal, and it like mimics. I was trying to combine imitate and mimics in the same word. Doesn't work.
It's because you're creative. You're creating words now.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. It's mimicking the dots in your circles. And then it also picks up some of those greens that's in your number 2.
That's great. That's great.
That will go everywhere you see this little purple dot.
So fun. I love putting a really kind of funky fabric like this in a more simple pattern. It's really makes it great. And this is another good one, kind of like we looked at Simply Strips earlier, where we can put some really bold colors in there.
Yeah.
This is another one that can take some really bold colors to really give textures. Energize it, just pump it up a little bit.
So let's show you, we can show you the image and you can see how it looks made up in this. And I think you're completely correct about that. The textures being in a more simple pattern like this, it really shows off the textures.
It really, really does. And this is a fun, high energy quilt.
Your information is 8023162, Batik Mystery, and your pattern is Rail Fence, which is available as an individual or in the book Quick and Easy.
Believe it or not, Hannah, even though this is our second video, we still have not covered all of the books that we have available and all of the easy patterns in each of those books.
So if you want us to do a specific one, if you didn't see one of the books you want to know about, let us know in the comments. What are you looking for?
Yeah, and be sure and check out that video, that first one that we did covering the very special easy patterns in those books.
Yes.
So it's Fran Morgan.
And Hannah with Fabric Cafe.
Happy quilting!